Welcome to this week's episode of Your Stock Request for the 14th of October. Hi, I'm Michael Gable, Managing Director at Fairmont Equities. Your Stock Request is the weekly video where I take your requests and analyse the share price charts. So this week we have EMLL Payments, Paladin, Karoon Energy, Renascor Resources and Northern Star. So if you have a request, send it through. Make sure you're getting the free newsletter every Thursday, but if you'd like our better ideas, you need to get the Dynamic Investor Report that I send out every Tuesday morning. If you do enjoy these videos though, we'd love you to share them on social media. Remember, our main business is portfolio management, so if you'd like to have a broking account with us and have me help you personally, then please let me know. And all the advice here, of course, is general only. So we'll start off with the daily chart here of EML, obviously dominated by this big drop in May, and since then it's looked like a tricky one to trade. Basically, you had this period here where it sort of bounced up and then traded very neatly between these two sort of support and resistance lines, sort of a false break here, only for it to rally back up, then another little false break, and then obviously a few failures here. So doesn't look like the easiest one to have been trading. Most recently we've had this gap down here on big volume, and now it looks like it's sliding, so that's a negative. And I think just the way that it's trading here, the risk at the moment still looks like it's to the downside. Okay, Paladin, so we've got just going back the last sort of few months, we had this sort of consolidation here, breakout several weeks ago, really good volume, so a massive run up, then a bit of heat's come out of the share price, and as we could see, it's then sort of eased back here on lower volumes, so that was all good as the share price settled down, and then yesterday we saw it gap higher and run, and obviously there's been an increase in volume as well. So all this looks good, like that would have been a buying opportunity yesterday. So I think this will just continue to head higher. I think obviously as it gets to the old high, it may well find some resistance, but overall the picture's looking pretty good for Paladin. Okay, Karoon, so generally been heading higher over the last year before pulling back a few months ago, sort of breaking that uptrend a few months ago, but then it started to rally here, obviously in this period of time. It's made a nice move on good volume. Just most recently though, I think it seems to be hitting a brick wall now, and we've seen a number of days here where it's closing near its lows of the day, which isn't a good sign. So I think basically if it can pop above sort of this old range, that would be a positive, but I think at the moment it looks vulnerable to some downside. So I think if it drops under this line, we may well see it consolidate back into this area. Okay, Renascor, so this is one that we had in our Dynamic Investor Report back here in August, basically looking at after the big rally up, at the pullback, leveling out, and then starting to break higher on volume. So it's gone on to pretty much almost double in price, but we could see that it was always going to encounter some resistance here near the old high. But at the moment it just looks like it's consolidating here. We've seen it come back on lower volumes, so now it's just a matter of waiting for the next buy signal. I think around here it looks like there's some sort of level of support. I'd like to see a big sort of high volume, strong day up, and that would be the next buy signal. So it looks like it's early days, but one to keep an eye on for the next buy signal. Okay, and Northern Star, so basically still in a downtrend, nothing's changed there. Although a potential positive is we could see that there was some support at $9, and what it's done recently is it's it's sort of broken support only for it to bounce back up. So potentially this could be a false break. And then Northern Star's ready to head higher again. But I mean, I'd like to, at least this sort of $10 region is going to be a lot of resistance. I'd like to see it clear that and show that it can remain supported up at those sorts of levels. And then it would look a little bit more appealing. So I think for Northern Star, it's still early days yet. Okay, well that's all for this week. As always, if you have a request, send it through and I'll try to look at it next Thursday.